So, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is being accused of racism. And I've got to say, everybody's take on this whole thing is absolutely terrible. So, let's listen to mine. So let's see how Nikki Haley initially got into trouble. Let's have a look at the initial incident. A journalist asks her here what she thinks were the causes of the American Civil War, and her response is what everybody's going mental about.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Straight away, by the way, I think that's a ridiculous question to ask somebody. What are the causes? What is this? A citizenship test? A pop history quiz? What are the causes? What were the causes of the U.S. Civil War? It's like anything she says, you're waiting for a gotcha moment, right? It's like you're hoping she says something ridiculously stupid. And it's also a ridiculously simplistic question, isn't it? I mean, if you ask somebody what's the cause of any war, well, there's like a fucking dissertation needs to be written, doesn't it?
Well, how do you explain all the problems in the world?
Well, I mean, I couldn't just... There are so many historical and economic factors that...
Exactly. You haven't got a clue.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do. What do you think the cause of the Civil War was?
I'm not running for president. I wanted to see yours.
That's a good thing.
On the cause of the Civil War.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government and what the rights of the people are. And I will always stand by the fact that I think government was intended to secure the rights and freedoms of the people. It was never meant to be all things to all people.
Thank you. And in the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
No, you answered my question. Thank you.
It's astonishing that in 2023 you didn't say slavery. What the fuck is wrong? How is so many people on that guy's side? It's insane to me, right? What did you want? You want, honestly, you've got a presidential candidate. You ask them, what are the causes of the American Civil War? She has to answer on the spot like that. You just want the basic bitch valley girl answer. Slavery, right? That would be it. That would satisfy everyone. How the fuck are you on? What I'm trying to say is, it amazes me that to some people, to so many people, it is less retarded if Nikki Haley answers that question by going, duh, slavery. Slavery is like how the American Civil War. That is less retarded. Honestly, you think that is worse than trying to reduce what is a very complicated question. It is quite complex. People have written books about it. People do write university dissertations and high school essays and God knows what about the causes of the fucking American Civil War. She's trying to reduce it to essentially it's about the role of government, whatever. I've got no dog in this fight. I don't care about Nikki Haley. I'm just saying, how is it that we live in the same universe? People who think her answer was worse than going, I think slavery and I want world peace. There are some people that would be satiated by that answer, really. Anyway, the problem is now for Nikki Haley that she's doing what nobody should ever do, ever, an apology tour.
Well, two things on this, Jack. I mean, of course, the Civil War was about slavery. We know that. That's the easy part of it. What I was saying was, what does it mean to us today? What it means to us today is about freedom. That's what that was all about. It was about individual freedom. It was about economic freedom. It was about individual rights. Our goal is to make sure, no, we never go back to the stain of slavery, but what's the lesson in all of that?
Now, I might not be the greatest strategist in the world, but if I were one of the people on the team of Nikki Haley or any of these other people who think they're getting cancelled, I would just say, turn on them and attack, for fuck's sake. Get some balls. Anyone who thinks that, this is what I would say, I'm Nikki Haley, oh, you think I should have just said slavery? Right? When somebody asked me for the causes of the American Civil War, I should have just said one word, slavery. My shirt's on inside out. There we go. How is it? Is it still on inside out? Now it's Who was I calling retarded?
You were asked to explain the cause of the Civil War. You obviously did not mention slavery. And afterwards, you came up, you said that was a mistake. In fact, you said it should have been the first thing that you said. So you did come out and say that. Chris Christie, though, came out and said that you gave that answer not because you're, in his words, dumb or racist, but because you're, quote, unwilling to offend anyone by telling the truth. What do you say to that?
No one's ever said that I am unwilling to offend.
Except Chris Christie.
I offend plenty of people because I call people out when they do something wrong. What I will tell you is Chris Christie is from New Jersey. I should have said slavery right off the bat. But if you grow up in South Carolina, literally in second and third grade, you learn about slavery. You grow up and you have, I had black friends growing up.
Yep, she's an idiot. There is no amount. I don't know if you need to hear this or if anyone does, but this is how it is. No amount of saying, I've got lots of black friends and gay friends and I love women. None of that will ever appease the morons, okay? The premise is ridiculous. They're saying that you didn't use the word slavery because you're worried about offending some people who might vote for you, who love slavery, or that you don't think slavery is the cause of the Civil War, or something like that. None of that is true. They know what they're saying isn't true, unless they're completely retarded. Then there is just no way. You don't have to argue with these people. Come out guns blazing, okay?
It is a very talked about thing. We have a big history in South Carolina when it comes to, slavery, when it comes to all the things that happened with the Civil War, all of that. I was thinking past slavery and talking about the lesson that we would learn going forward. I shouldn't have done that. I should have said slavery, but in my mind, that's a given that everybody associates the Civil War with slavery.
She's in panic mode. She's over-explaining something that's very simple to explain. You are deliberately misunderstanding what I said. Fuck you. Right? That's the way. That's what. I'd win all the elections.
Agreed. I have to say, this is sort of the year of fumbling very easy questions because the direct response to what is the cause of the U.S. Civil War is slavery. There's a Simpsons joke about this where Apu is taking a citizenship test and he gives a long-winded explanation about the Civil War and then they just say slavery.
Exactly. You're missing the point of the Simpsons joke. That is exactly the point, that it's not a simple question. What are the causes of the Civil War? Let's look at that bit. Let's look at that clip now, and you tell me who you're supposed to be laughing at, what the gag is.
All right, here's your last question. What was the cause of the Civil War?
Actually, there were numerous causes. Aside from the obvious schism between abolitionists and anti-abolitionists, economic factors, both domestic and international, played a significant...
Hey. Yeah. Just say slavery.
Slavery it is, sir.
What do you think is funny about that? That Apu's an idiot. The point is Apu is giving a much more balanced, nuanced answer to a very complicated question. He's trying to reduce it as quickly as he can to get through that oral exam, and he's just giving it in a couple of sentences, basically reducing what is a really complicated topic into a few sentences to pass the exam, which is exactly what Nikki Haley was doing. If you just say slavery, you sound stupid.
I mean, it's a very obvious question. It sort of reminds me a little bit about what happened in Congress with the presidents of the universities who couldn't just answer a very simple, direct question.
I think what he's referring to there is the Claudine Gay incident, which I can't be asked to go into because I actually think, again, everyone's getting that one wrong as well. I'm not going into that. But I'll tell you what this does remind me of. What's happening now with Nikki Haley. It reminds me of when they ask what should be a simple question. They ask people, what is a woman, for example? And again, I don't want to get into politics because it really bores the shit out of me. But then they allow you all the nuance and time in the world to explain what you think about gender and sex and all of these fucking things. The American Civil War, slavery, duh. Slavery.
Well, you know what really is a little stunning to me, which is she's talking about personal freedoms and government shouldn't interfere. And I'm not suggesting this of her, but that's the Confederacy argument.
Well, I'll tell you what's stunning to me, apart from your lovely arms, the fact that I'm surrounded by such disingenuous, nasty, manipulative, fucking... And it's on both sides, by the way. And don't think I'm a big Nikki Haley fan now. Oh, I'm a Republican, whatever. Good, call me that, I don't care. I'm just saying, really, I don't have a dog in this fight. Nikki Haley, in this instance, did nothing wrong, okay?
No one died.
Okay, if you've enjoyed this happy little video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe and so on and so forth. Share it with everyone. Tell the world about the Daniel Boland Show. I'll see you in the next one.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.